Hi, my name is John Ramsden with the Ramsden Realty Group and Keller Williams Realty. Congratulations on watching this video. This is going to be an example of our buyer's consultation. We really try to get really in depth with our clients in this process. Purchasing a home is not just about finding a great home for you and your family to raise your kids in and all of that. That is important. However, it's also a very important financial decision. Now, your second biggest asset in life, at this stage of your life, and most home buyers, is their home. Their number one asset's their ability to earn an income. So we need to take that into consideration during the process. So how do we do that? Well, we have to make sure that we create a sound budget for you. Something that's affordable, something that makes sense, and some payments that you're comfortable in having. We take into consideration factors like taxes and HOA fees and all those other things. Also appreciation and absorption rates in the area are all things that we're going to factor in. We also really need to take an in-depth look at what type of loan that you need. So I have relationships with a lot of the top banks and direct lenders. Depending on what type of home you're considering and what areas you're considering, each have different specialties. Some even have special loans depending on what type of job you do. So we want to take in all this information and get you pointed in the right direction. Once we do that, we're going to evaluate, do you need FHA, conventional, 203K loan is another one we could do if we want to buy some properties that need some renovation work. So it's a lot of information that we do go through. Now, once we go through all this, we start to create this financial plan for your home buying process. Now, once we do that, we have a plan in place, a budget in place. Now we kind of know what types of homes we can go ahead and get after. We want to identify location. What's really important to you? How important is schools? How important is train lines? How important are taxes? How important are town amenities, such as community pools or lakes, or in some instances even access to beaches, airports, things like that. I relocated from New York, so I know how this process can be a challenge, especially if you're not sure which part of New Jersey to move to. There's a lot of great towns in New Jersey, so it's something we do want to consider and factor in. However, if you do know what town you want to live in, then it makes it a little easier, and then we just go ahead and look for the right home. Now, once we've factored in those areas and those key areas, we have our budget, we know our location, we know what loan type we're doing. The next process is go ahead and finding the house. We're very technology forward here at the Ramsden Realty Group. We spare no expense in giving our clients access to the best, most up-to-date technology. We're going to be doing home search on our end for you relentlessly, making sure that we're checking on and off the market properties. We have a database of investors, house flippers, things like that. A lot of those properties never actually make it to the market. They never hit the MLS. They don't hit Zillow. They don't hit Trulia, things like that. We try to keep you off those websites because Zillow and Trulia are usually the last to know when a property comes to market. And they also are the last to know when a property is sold. So we want to give you direct MLS access. Let us worry about the foreclosures, the off-the-market properties, the flip properties, and we're going to give you your own MLS site, your own app for your phone. So you're going to be getting alerts every time something hits your criteria. You're going to be getting a notification. Makes it kind of fun. Then once we put together a list of homes we want to actually go see in person, well, we start opening doors. This is the process that people really enjoy. We're going through houses, driving around, and get that wow factor. Going through and actually looking at homes is the only way to really find out exactly what you want. A lot of times people think they know what they want, but going through the process really opens their eyes to see what's out there, what's a good value, what's not a good value. Now, once we find a home you think you might want to buy, well, then we really do our work and we start to comp it out. My job is to really make sure that this is the best decision for you. I'm not here to make friends with other realtors. I work solely for you and your best interests. So I'm not going to let you overpay for a property. We're going to comp it out, make sure that financially it makes sense. I'm going to give you a range. Hey, I think we should start here, and I think we might end up here, but this is where we want to start. As a former negotiation trainer for a Fortune 100 company, I know what it is to make a deal happen, and I know what it's like to negotiate a good deal. If someone says yes to our offer right away, well, you know what? We offered them too much money. We want to be told no at first. And that's the way to make sure that you're getting a good deal. The only time that a monkey can be thrown in that wrench, or a wrench can be thrown into that, is a The process if there's a bidding war. Then that's a new caveat and the whole strategy changes. I have a full strategy in place that allows my clients to win bidding wars. There's a couple things I do differently than other realtors, the way I present an offer, write up a contract, and make sure you have more than just a pre-approval when we're going into battle here. A lot of people have the gut instinct that they want to avoid bidding wars. I totally disagree. Let me worry about the bidding war. Usually it means you're buying a really good house. People want really good houses and they want what other people want. It's okay to get into a bidding war. My success rate in bidding wars is over 90%, so you're in good hands. I will fight for you, and usually we do a good job of getting our offer accepted at good terms. And again, we're still not going to let you overpay. I will let you know, hey, I think we're overpaying here, but this is what it's going to take to get the house, and we can make a decision. So we're going to get back to overpaying for a home in a little bit because it's very important. The next step is once we get a process, an offer accepted, we then enter into attorney review. New Jersey is an attorney state. So we have some good lawyers on our team who are really excellent real estate attorneys. You can obviously use your own, but if you need that resource, it's here for you. We go through an attorney review process where we rewrite the contract, we review the terms, and make sure that everything is on the up and up and everybody's on the same page. We're also going to take a closer look at seller's disclosures, make sure when the home was built, do we need lead paint forms. We're going to make sure that permits are pulled and things like that the proper way for the home. Just do some extra due diligence in attorney review. And then the next step is we're going to be, because we want to look for some red flags, if there are any, before we get to inspection. The inspection process is hugely important in this whole home buying process. Only about 50 to 60% of accepted offers actually close. And one of the main reasons is the inspection process, because people find things out that the seller might not have known about their home, but we want to make sure that you know what you're getting into when you buy a home. We have a list of approved home inspection experts. Now these guys are very thorough in what they do. We want to make sure that we have the best. So we want to make sure we do a good job in selecting the right person for you. And a lot of them have specialties in different types of houses. And different areas. So we have a good resource and database that we put together over the years to make sure that we have the right person who's not going to miss anything. Once we get through the inspection, every house is going to have some issues. Even brand new construction homes have some issues. So we want to make sure we take a look at those, we identify what those are, and we go ahead and make sure we negotiate the right terms to make sure that those issues are addressed so that everybody's comfortable. You have to be comfortable in purchasing it. Do we need to get a home warranty? Do we actually need home repairs to be made for you? Do items in the house need to be replaced? Does the furnace work in good working order? Windows and furnace are some very key areas that are often overlooked that can be very expensive home items. We want to make sure that those are not overlooked for you because we don't want you having a big bill in the next couple of years. We can get into more detail in one-on-one consultation and based on a house-by-house basis, but moving forward next is once we're past the inspection process, we then go to underwriting, making sure that we have an appraisal done. The mortgage company is going to get some more information from you, make sure that we have everything we need. They're going to give you guidelines on what you can and cannot spend your money on during this key important time in the home buying process. And we also have to get the home appraised. So here's another layer of defense, making sure that you don't overpay for the home. Banks are only going to lend so much money for each asset, because if you default, if you lose your job, or you no longer feel like paying the mortgage, the only thing the bank really has left is the house. So they want to make sure that they're not lending too much on a house because they might have to eventually sell it. So this is another layer of protection that you have. Once we're through underwriting, and we're through the appraisal process, if the appraisal process comes below purchase price, that means we paid too much, we have to renegotiate the deal. If the appraisal comes in right at or above purchase price, well, then we're good to go. Then we move forward to just having the bank allow us setting a close date, trying to make sure we are in agreement, hitting our deposit dates in alignment with the contract that we have set up, and then we go from there, and hopefully we have a nice smooth transition. We then set a close date, we do a walkthrough. Walkthroughs are very overlooked. They are important. Once the seller moves all their stuff out, we want to make sure that they weren't covering up anything. We want to make sure that there's no holes in the walls that were being hidden. We want to make sure there's no broken windows. We want to make sure all the plumbing works, the power's still on, the furnace is working properly, the central air unit's working properly. All of these things have to be make sure before we go to the closing table. After close, it's pretty hard to go after people unless we can prove that they maliciously lied or that a home inspector created an error that could have been avoided. So we want to make sure that we avoid these situations before we finalize and close on the house. After that, we hand you the keys and you go ahead and move in and enjoy this house with you and your family for years to come. But there is a lot to this process. If one of these steps is overlooked, it could be a financial catastrophe. So we do our best to put in the processes, and we have a team in place with transaction coordinators, inspectors, attorneys, buyer's agents, and myself overseeing the whole machine to make sure that this goes as smooth as possible, because each little mistake could cost tens of thousands of dollars, and we want to make sure that doesn't happen to you. What you need to understand is that we will fight for you. We are negotiation experts here. We do have the right systems in place, and you will be in good hands, and we do look forward to helping you in this home buying process. Feel free to go back and look at this resource, share it with friends. We want to put as much detailed information as we can. If you have any specific questions, either email me, reach out to me, feel free to call me direct at any time. We're always available for you. And we look forward to working with you and hearing from you soon. Thank you very much for watching. We hope it was helpful.